welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I want to put my face in that grass.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with a person.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
Ooh, that was a good crack.
That was a good one. It had echo to it.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice. Well, you've just cracked into Off the Cut episode 149 for Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. And the only thing smoother than that intro is me rolling into this ad read for kmtools.com.
You know why it was so smooth? It's because you're in a reclined, easy position.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
laying back tonight. You know, it's 32-year-old old back is a little sore today. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to kick the legs up on the desk and get a little bit more relaxed.
Nice. I'm trying to think about how we can transition this back to KM Tools now, but I'm coming up with absolutely nothing.
Well, I would say that they're very relaxed on their price, but they're not relaxed on their standards for high quality tools.
That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Baby, that was good.
Ooh, that was good.
Jonathan probably just fired everybody on staff and was like, all right, bring this guy in for more.
He's like, Eric is our new copywriter from now on. The rest of you guys hit the bricks. You're done.
Yeah.
Pound sand.
You know, to be honest with you, while I was going to the restroom today, I was just whipping through the KM Tools website.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan has some funny stuff in his copyright for product descriptions.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that he writes himself, or if he's just allowed like his web copy or his ad copy people to just have a little fun with it.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it.
It's good. It's nice. I like it when companies aren't too serious.
Right.
Yeah.
I was and well, anyway, we'll get to that at another point. But anyway, head over to kmtools.com because everything there is made for woodworkers by woodworkers, and a portion of the proceeds of all their sales, did I say that right?
Yes,
goes directly towards the Cats Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, which gets tools and resources into the hands of folks who need it most.
Nice.
Whew. Yeah.
And also, every single month, Jonathan gives us $50 to give away to our lovely patrons. So we do a drawing every month, and we pick somebody at random, and they get a $50 gift card. It's pretty sweet. So
hell yeah,
become a patron. It's good.
Yeah,
time.
and
Get
so
access
next
to
week,
the bonus show.
Yeah, next week will be the drawing for that too. So get in while you can. Get on the ground floor. Yeah, and you go over to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast and you get access to entering to win that gift card, as well as the bonus show, the after show, all the other perks. And tonight, we are not doing the bonus show because it is the BYOC with the dogs. Hold on. Wait for it.
We have a sound effect?
Yeah, hold on. I'm scrolling to it.
Give me a diamond dog.
Okay, diamond dogs, mount up. Let's go.
Can I be a diamond dog?
And then we got this. Oh, that's a bad one. We want this one.
There we go. I thought you were gonna play 3 seconds of Who Let the Dogs Out, or whatever the fair use limit is.
Yeah, that's a good one. But so our buddy Scott from last week, Scott Walsh, he had mentioned he had no idea what BYOC stood for.
Yeah.
Which made me believe that none of our listeners probably knew what it was either.
I think we've probably explained it at some point. It's bring your own camcorder.
Yeah. It is.
There's a little confusion in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
like BYOB, but you bring your own camera. You know, you bring your camera, you hang out with us, and we talk about whatever you want. We can, just BS. We can talk about projects, questions, social media, whatever you want. We always have a great time. Do it once a month, and we'll be doing that tonight at around 8:15 Eastern. And if you want to get access to that, just become a whatever tier patron. I don't remember what top tier is. I don't know what it is.
Yep.
I've
actually
I'm the
gone
worst
through and
for us.
removed all the tiers that nobody was on.
Right.
So now we only have 3.
Trim the fat. Perfect. I love it.
That's right.
And we still got to set up time to review some of our survey results too. I know we got like halfway through it.
It's true. Yeah. And then we were like, oh, we'll do it next week. And then next week we just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Been busy.
Oops.
Well,
yeah.
This actually segues into something that I was doing regarding the survey.
Okay.
So we did a survey for Patreon for the podcast, right? To get people's, feedback on what we can do for Patreon, what they want to see, whatnot. And I also did the same thing for my personal Patreon.
Oh, interesting. That's where you got the idea then.
Yeah. Do you know how many people sent me a message saying, hey, I think somebody's sending a spam email?
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
Because the survey? Huh.
Yeah, because I was just like, hey, I thought it was very not spammy. It was just like, hey, want to hear from you if you have 2 minutes to spare. And, I'm conducting just a little bit of research about what my audience wants to see and whatnot, and click this link. I guess whatever I had sent, the way I worded it, made a lot of people think I was phishing, like a phishing email.
Yeah. Interesting.
I thought it was very laid back and casual, but I got at least 50 people.
What?
That, I swear to God.
Wow.
That replied back to the email and was like, hey, was this actually you?
They replied to the email to see if it was spam.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing. They replied to the
funny.
email to see if it's. I had 1 or 2 people go to my website and fill out the contact form.
Okay.
And hey, I got this email. Is this from you?
I think I saw it on your. Would you do an Instagram story for it or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a week or so ago. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
Well, now I'm curious how many responses I got. Google Forms. Because this was one of the things I was telling you guys about, where I was meeting with one of the ex-executives at Patreon, and we're just trying to collect information and stuff like that. I got 256 responses. That's not bad.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Do you know how many you sent it out to?
I sent I think my email list is 10,000.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So obviously, the open rate was 60% or something. But then it's just because somebody opened the email doesn't mean they're actually going to click on it, right?
The amount of surveys I've filled out compared to the amount of surveys that have been sent to me is extremely low. It's got to be
fractions of 1%.
Yeah, fractions of 1%. I get hit with a surprising amount of surveys, and even from it's so funny that what is it, Google Forms that you use?
Yeah.
Is that what that?
Yeah.
A surprising number of companies use Google Forms. Nobody has cracked that market except for Google.
But it
you
works
get emails.
Yeah.
I know it works really well, but I'm just surprised nobody else has tried to do their own version of it. They just Google have that.
I think it's for all the ones that you pay for that offer a service like that. They don't really offer anything that you're not already getting through the Google Form. So it's
true. But it's just weird,
what value add could they offer?
You get an email from a billion-dollar company, and it's and then it's just kind of a very basic looking Google form. And you're this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It does start to feel a little sketchy on some level then.
It gives a little sketch for sure.
Yeah.
Seem like it. I'm surprised. Do they have the ability to mask URL so it looks like it's survey
I don't know.
backbuilds.com, but really it's just a Google form?
I bet you if you pay for the high enough tier, Google's weird. There's a lot of behind the scenes services you can pay for, right?
Yeah, through the Google Workspace thing.
Yeah, exactly. I have a vanity URL that's my email is zach@zachbuilds.com.
Yeah.
And I think I pay $5 a month for that or something like that.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of interesting. I don't know if people know this behind the scenes, is that anybody can get a custom email address. So you don't have to have zachbuilds@gmail, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have to own the domain? I do actually own zachbuilds.com.
Yeah, you have to own the domain.
You have to own the domain, but you don't have to have a website on it. You just have to, which is, owning a domain, that's $10 a year or something like that. I mean, they're not expensive.
Yeah. I'm going through that right now, trying to switch my website. Upcoming YouTube video is sponsored by a web hosting service. So I'm trying to move my website from one host to another. And part of that is moving the DNS, the domain over. And
Dude.
If anybody is trying to go to my website right now and it's down, that is why. It's been a little tricky going back and forth. Basically, you have to like give up the domain or send it to like some other holding place, and then the new service picks it up. It's all very confusing. And
yeah, I can't access it.
Yeah. God bless Dadu. He's working behind the scenes on this to try and get it done for me. So,
well, and you have somebody who actually knows what the hell they're doing. When I moved from Squarespace to Shopify, I had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
I just like, you just
guess. You try and like even the new web hosting service had instructions on how to leave my old web hosting service, and I followed them to a T, and it's still giving me issues.
Yeah. So,
good times,
who did you use prior?
I used WordPress. So WordPress is both a platform and they also have a separate hosting service. And it was funny. So Dadu's been he redid my website. I think I talked about that on the podcast before. Yeah. He's also handling this transfer for me. And he found out how much I was paying for my web hosting. And he was like, dude, you're getting ripped off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it was WordPress like bananas because it was just like easy, like you're paying for the convenience factor or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was when I first started out. I didn't really know the difference between there's WordPress.org, which is where you can just download the platform for free, and then WordPress.com, which is like their own hosting service. Anyways, it's nothing crazy. I think I'm paying like $300 a year for my website. But
you were, or that's what you're paying now?
That's what I was. What I'm paying now is nothing because it's all rolled into the sponsorship, which is nice.
Oh, okay. Well, now I want to know how much I pay for mine.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of it gets like when you pick some sort of word or term that's more recognizable or it has more search traffic, you actually pay more for it.
Yes, 100%. And a lot of the time, if it's like a very commonly searched thing, somebody's already camped that domain. Somebody already owns it, and then they'll try and sell it back to you.
I actually looked up my domain, and they were like, "Oh, we can like try to like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, we can try to like broker this."
Yes,
and I'm like, "Yeah, I think I pay like $6 a month, maybe $10 a month for mine."
Yeah. So significantly less than $300 a year. So
right.
Getting screwed a little bit. Oopsies.
Here's a question for you. Let's hypothetically say somebody reaches out and they're like, "We want to buy ZachBuilds.com." Let's be real. You don't use your website a whole hell of a lot.
Not really.
No. Well, actually, you started selling digital stuff.
Yeah, I did. But I'm
that was
still
through Etsy, right?
I know. I have actually my own online store set up now. I haven't been too hard on pushing it. My only concern with that is somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, I want to buy ZachBuilds.com." I'd be like, "Are you going to use it to scam people? Because you're probably almost certainly going to use it to scam people."
Oh.
But if there was like some Norwegian company that was like a construction company called Zach Builds, and they're like, "We want to buy your domain," I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." I'd be open to offers.
What, just for fun, what would they have to offer you for you to actually consider it? Like a couple $100?
No, I mean, no. It would have to be like 5 figures.
That's what I was.
Yeah, 10, 20,000 before I'd start to think about it.
Right. And even then, it's just like, okay, like what's the pro con to something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If it was $1 million, I think it would be like
no brainer. Obviously, 10,000. It's like I don't know, because I mean, for me, it's like, do I want people who are like fans of my YouTube channel or my content in general to be able to easily find.
Yeah, you Google Zach Builds, ZachBuilds.com. You're like, I mean, that's got to be it.
Exactly. So if somebody Googles Zach Builds and it goes to a Norwegian construction company, it's like that's not a great user experience. So
yeah.
And also
just go through and rebrand yourself everywhere and start fresh, or
no, I do like real ZachBuilds.com or ZachBuilds.net or ZachBuildsYouTube.com. Yeah, ZachBuilds too. Yeah. Or sometimes they have those. They have like .xyz, or they have like those weird kind of 3 letters at the end. This is a suffix that nobody.
I think you could do anything. Could you get like ZachBuild.lds or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
then you might be confused with the Church of Latter-day Saints. So
Oh yeah, that's
I can do
true.
zachbuilds.ca.
there you go.
Yeah.
I don't trust any website that's .ca. I'm gonna be honest with
Well,
you.
that's you're right to question them. You're right to question them.
I would take a .eu versus over a .ca.
.ca, yeah.
You
What
know?
about .gov or .edu?
.cz.
CZ, yeah, CZ, yeah. What's the one? I always get a lot of scams from .es. I think it must be like Estonia or
IO.
something like that. .io, yeah.
CZ, that's the Russian one. That's the one that always tries to get you to pawn their video games, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
Oh, good times though.
yeah. Hey, I've got something that I think will get makers and woodworkers fired up, right?
Ooh.
We went shopping for furniture the other day.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the furniture situation.
Okay. All right.
Shame.
So everybody's like, why don't you just build it? Right? Okay. It's a sofa. I'm not building a sofa.
Man, so okay. We're kind of shopping for a sofa right now too. Sofas are, when did they get so expensive?
Dude, yeah, okay. I'm very familiar with this industry because this is like the logistics, like that's what I do for my day job is like home delivery of all this kind of crap.
Okay.
There's a huge spectrum, a huge tier list of furniture. So you got places like a Value City, a Big Sandy, you know.
Hell, I've never heard of any of these.
Okay, you never heard of any of these, right?
Yeah, those must all
These
be
are like
American.
your low tier stuff, right?
Okay.
Then you got places like, you know, like West Elm, Crate and Barrel,
Okay, those ones.
Our House, Restoration Hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Those, I know what people are going to say, oh, those are the expensive ones. No,
Those are mid-tier.
those are like 3 to 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then you start getting into these places that I couldn't even tell you any names off the top of my head, but they're some of our clients. And
Boutique.
people will be spending like $50 to $75, $150,000 on a sofa.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Doesn't surprise me, but
Right. But so anyway, so you're going in, you're looking for a sofa. You cannot find even a one that you go, this is moderately comfortable for under $1,500, $2,000.
God no.
Like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I'm not talking like a 9-piece sectional.
No, like a 5-seater little sectional or something.
Yeah. You're talking $3,000-$4,000 easy.
You know
right?
what it is.
And yeah, obviously depends what it is and like if it reclines and features and stuff like that.
Oh no, what caused the price increase was COVID.
Yeah, it all went everybody
pushed back. Like we moved into our house whenever that hit, and we couldn't buy furniture for months. And then whenever we finally could, we couldn't get it for months.
Because everybody was stuck at home
like that for years. Yeah.
And they were like, let's upgrade our furniture because we can't go out. So we have to like stare at this crappy furniture that we've had for years.
Oh yeah.
So,
it was a real thing.
Yeah.
We
but
were
it's never come back down. Like COVID's that's like, you know, in the rear view.
5 years.
You know, right?
Why would you? If you as a business, right?
True. Yeah.
You're selling $1,000 product, people are buying it. You sell it for 1,500 people buy it, you sell it for 2,000 people buy it, 3,000 people buy it. Why would you ever lower your prices back down?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Only once people stop buying.
Exactly. So people are still buying it. So anyway, we're going in. We're gonna buy like we're gonna buy like slightly between a mid tier, like a Our House Restoration Hardware and like a you know, Joe Schmo's furniture, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the way I think about furniture is like we have a cat, and like is the cat at some point probably gonna scratch a little bit? Probably.
Yeah.
Am I going to spill a beer or like food on the couch? Yes. So I want to buy a couch that's nice. It's comfy, but like if I spill something on it, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know,
that is the downside to having anything nice in your life is as soon as it gets like dinged or scratched, you're like, God damn it, that ruined my day.
Right.
Now
That's
it's
why,
not.
that's why I like not having the nicest car in the world. Like,
Yeah.
somebody like gets like junk all in your floor or like whatever. You're like, it's all right.
Yeah, whatever. No,
I mean, I
not a big
don't
deal.
want to be driving a beater, but
Yeah, it's
So
very
anyway.
freeing to like not care about the condition of things.
exactly. And that's kind of like what we wanted to do with furniture. So we were like, all right, let's get a sofa. We're gonna get one like a 4 to 5 seater one, right? Not massive, but not a love seat. So we're like, we want to keep it at like $3,000. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what, like $4,000 Canadian, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Look, 7 years ago, that would have bought you like 4 couches.
Oh yeah, that would have bought you like a sofa, an ottoman, an end table, maybe a chair to go in the corner.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And so we're looking around or whatever, and we find this one. Dude, I don't think there's anyone worse to deal with than furniture salespeople.
Oh,
Car
yeah.
salespeople.
Oh, dude, I
True,
don't know.
Good point.
I don't know. I think furniture is worse.
Yeah.
I had a
yeah.
guy literally chasing us around the store. Do you need help?
Yeah.
You good? You good? Just remember, my name's Kip. If you need anything, tell him Kip was helping you.
It's so funny when you go into a place and you can immediately tell whether or not it's commission based or not.
Oh yeah.
Some stores you like, you go into Home Depot, it's like pulling teeth to find somebody.
Yeah, when you need
Oh,
to get
help.
electrical wire.
Yeah, you need to get something from a high shelf. Furniture store, there's like 3 guys pulling you in different directions. It's insane.
It's
I always
Brutal.
let them come up, and the first one that comes up, I tell them, all right, hey, yeah, I entertain them for a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
listen to their
You're
answer their
playing.
questions, tell them what we're looking for, and I'm like, hey, my wife she's a little shy. You mind if I take one of your business cards, and we're gonna take a lap around, and we're gonna look at things, and then I'm gonna come find you. Where can I find you? And he tells me where I can find him. I'm like, all right, great. Now I got your card. Let him know that you're gonna be my sales guy. I'm going to buy from you. And he's like, all right, great,
Yeah.
cool. You got any questions? I'll be right over here. I'm like, great. We go do our lap because that's all we need to do. We just want to go in and take a look at
Yeah,
things.
you're
We end up
browsing.
ordering it
Yeah.
all online anyways.
Yeah.
And we do our lap and we walk out.
And they
never
don't
bother us
bother you.
again. No.
They don't bother you? Wow.
Oh, that's a good tactic.
But you got to be in
Interesting.
and out. You can't dawdle. Like if you wait around too long, they will come back and find you.
Yeah. They're pretty
That's
vicious.
terrible.
Next time I go, I'm going to pit them against each other. Be like,
There
well,
you go.
Kyle said he'd give me a better deal than you would, Fred. And then like see let them fight it out.
Kyle's not working. Well, he was there this weekend.
Told
He
me
was
to take
selling today.
$800 off a sticker. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't
That's how
even-
good he is.
So anyway, we go in there and there's Barbara comes up and is way too like in your face and like,
Mhm.
well, let me
Person's
show you
face.
around at all of our favorite things. And I'm like, no. So anyway, we find the one that we like or whatever. We're looking at it. It's gonna be like $2,500 or whatever. So we're like, oh, not too bad. And so I'm just like, hey, Barbara, what's the out the door price on this? And she's like, give me a minute. And just a clickety clack. And were you going to be getting the warranty and this? Fuck you. No, not getting any of that. Oh, there's the explicit.
That's
And-
explicit.
And then she's like, all right, well, it comes out to $2,680 or something like that.
All right.
And I know how much money they're making on this, right? I go,
Yeah.
I'll give you $2,500 and I'll buy it today.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean? I go, I mean, I'll give you $2,500 and I'll buy it today.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Doesn't
can't
work
do
like
that. No. Well, it's $180 for delivery and this and this and that. And I said, oh, that's cool. Here's my phone number.
Yeah.
Give me a call if you decide that you can sell for $2,500. We just got up and walked away.
Mhm.
Never called, right?
Really?
Right. I was
Okay,
shocked,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So then, like 4 or 5 days go by and we're like, we want this sofa. So I was like, okay, we already
That's a little embarrassing having to go back after you've done the walk away.
Oh, buddy, come on. I didn't go back. You know me well. enough. I didn't go back.
Okay. Yeah.
I was
fair,
like,
fair.
we already know like the SKU number, the size, the configuration, the color, or whatever.
Mhm.
And I was like Deric said, I'm just gonna go online. So I go online 4 days or so later, less than a week, 100%.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, they're now running a 20% off sale that
Whoa.
Barbara neglected to tell me about.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it also says free shipping online. So I was going to just buy it online, but they were like, oh, call your store for availability or whatnot.
Mhm.
All right. So I called the store I was at, and they were like, oh, yeah, you're working with Barbara. Let me get her. And I said, no,
No. Yeah.
I don't want to talk to Barbara. Well, that's who you're working with. So I just hung up.
Mhm.
And as soon as I hung up, I was getting berated by calls from Barbara. She was texting me. She was calling me. And I was like, blocked your number. Like, get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah.
So then I just called one of the same store in basically just a different part of the town of the city, right?
Mhm.
Called them, told them exactly what I wanted and this and that. And the guy was like, all right, it's going to be, whatever, plus, $180 for shipping. And I said, well, your website says it's 20% off. And he goes, okay, yeah, I can give you the 20% off. And then he was like, all right, well, it's still going to be 180 for shipping. I said, no, it's not. Your website says it's free shipping. And again, did like the same thing, trying to give me the old runaround. Like,
so
fuck these people, man. Like,
what is going on here? Are they just trying to bilk as much as, like, okay, is the salesperson given the freedom to charge more than whatever the MSRP is?
dude,
There is no MSRP.
I think what they have is I think it's just like when you buy a car. They have this window where the salesperson can just dick around and just be like, okay, if you sell it anywhere within that number, like, you're approved, like, no worries, just go for it, right?
I wonder if even the showrooms are almost like an independent dealer.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's just like loosely affiliated with they know that they can get this couch for $1,800. Whatever they sell it for is their business.
Yeah.
I guarantee they're set up like cars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like you said, affiliations.
Yeah.
But I was just like, we wanted that sofa because we went to like every furniture store around Columbus and we're like, this is a good deal. It's comfortable. It's what we like. Like, let's just get this one. So we wanted this sofa, but we were so pissed off during that.
That's such an annoying process.
Like the whole process, man.
Anytime you have to talk to a salesperson, it's going to be a bad time.
I'd rather get hit by a car.
And this is why online shopping took off over the last 2 decades, right?
Right.
Because, like, for every good experience you have at a retail establishment where somebody actually helps you find what you want and doesn't dick you around, you have 10 experiences where you get screwed by the other person. or it's just annoying, right?
Right.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happens whenever you make the position, commission-based, is they just want to make numbers.
Yeah, which, I mean, fair enough. I guess that's what everybody wants to do at the end of the day, but yeah.
So it was infuriating. I'm like, I never want to go. Like, this is like you said, this is the exact reason why I like refuse to go in any store.
Mm-hmm.
In my
a couch you can't just online shop because you need to try it before you buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys are like me, of taller stature than most. So you know that awkward thing where, like, you sit on your couch and your knees are too high because it's too low.
Yep.
Or like it doesn't support your legs all the way. Yep. So like I wanted to get like a super deep couch, right?
Yep.
So like you said, you can't just look online and be like, that'll work. Right.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, it has an 18-inch seat. I'm sure that'll be fine. It's like, you kind of got to feel it. You got to get your butt in there and see what it's all about.
And sometimes the cushion will give like a good couple inches, and sometimes it won't give at all, and that's a difference too.
Don't even get me started on an ultra firm couch. It's no good. I need to sink into that bad boy.
Oh, my parents got an ultra firm couch, and I feel like I'm in prison every time I go over there. It's terrible. It's terrible.
I like it pretty firm, but definitely not like ultra firm. But I don't like it whenever it's just like a big duvet that you're trying to sit on. And you get wrapped up like a tortilla. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's true. Nothing is worse for your posture than a comfy couch. You know, as soon as you hit like a big comfy couch and you just like slide down into it, and all of a sudden you're in this weird like taco shape. It's horrible.
We got what they call a cuddle sofa. So it's super wide, super deep, like seats and cushions and stuff. So like, did you sit on this thing and you're like, somebody give me a blanket and we're watching a movie? Actually, we might be watching 6 movies.
Is this the only seating you're going to have, or is this in addition to some other?
No, it's in addition to other seating.
You just like have that as the only thing, and then just invite a bunch of people over. Like, come on, we're gonna get on the cuddle couch.
This sounds like it was like a swingers party, Deric.
You didn't know? The cuddle couch is designed specifically for swingers.
It comes with a fishbowl where you put your keys in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what have you guys been up to? Anything exciting? Any good stories of note? I know we've got one hot topic we got to talk about, but I didn't know if there's anything else that we need to share before we get there, because we might spend a minute on that topip.
Yeah, I think we're gonna spend a minute on it. I don't know, dude. I'm in full on crunch mode. I got a sponsor that was like, "You need to get this video done by this time, or you don't get paid." So,
so for everybody at home, a lot of times we get like, "Hey, this video needs to be out by February 8th," and then like if you're getting close, you can be like, "Hey, anyway, we can do the 14th," and they're like, "That's cool." They already were like, "There is no flexibility."
Dude, I went in early in the negotiations, and I was like, "That's a really aggressive deadline. I'm not sure I can hit it. Give me another week, and I'll be able to deliver a better video." They're like, "No, cannot be done." And so, I mean, I could always try. I could always like be like right at the last minute, be like, "I need more time," but I've just been pushing myself really hard to get it done. So and it's kind of nice in some ways. It's like, well, you get the content out sooner, and get more views sooner, which is good in theory, I guess. So
sometimes the deadlines are good for you, though.
Yes, it's true. I just wish I like the deadline, but I just would like a more relaxed deadline. And then I also have like 4 other partnerships on the go too. So it's like, it's just a lot of crap. It's very busy. It's very busy, which I'm very thankful for. And but it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, things are starting to pick up. It was weird. The holiday time was way quieter than I was expecting. But I'm I'm booking stuff out for April now.
I know it's usually so for people who don't know, end of the year usually crazy busy, and then beginning of the year is usually pretty busy as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of people, like a lot of companies, want to kind of
January,
kick off the
February.
Year. January is always a write-off because everybody's like just getting back from the holiday season. But as you get into like Feb, March, it usually picks up as companies are kind of like trying to like start their new campaigns for the year.
Yeah.
So, and then the summer is usually dead, or at least it has been for me the last couple of years.
Yeah. But I'm picking some stuff up too for like April and whatnot. So I was like,
yeah, nice,
sweet.
I might just like push hard till March and like F off, just like be like, oh, we already got the explicit. I might just fuck off for like April, May. It's just been a lot lately.
I've considered taking like a couple of weeks off in the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've heard some people do that.
Yeah, why not? Like build in a little, like maybe, I don't know, record like a talking head video, something that's a little bit of a lighter lift for the month of July, and then take a couple weeks off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna go on a trip for our anniversary out to Phoenix and do like Sedona and Grand Canyon and some stuff like that. And like,
hell yeah.
I don't want to be working anywhere around that. I just want to relax. You know what I mean?
Block it out. Yeah. That's the beauty of being self-employed, but nobody ever takes advantage of it because we're all too worried that we're going to end up in the poorhouse.
If you stop hustling, it's going to stop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I always feel like you're like, well, I said I wasn't going to work this month, but I did get it. I could get an opportunity, right?
Yeah,
an opportunity. But
that's funny.
So nothing eventful, no good stories from your guys' camp.
Nothing too crazy. I tried. I did some wood veneer over a 3D print, which actually turned out really well.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can actually show it to you.
Oh, this is why you got to watch the live stream on
yeah.
YouTube,
So this
folks.
is
Oh,
my
dude,
new
that's sick.
this is my new server project, and this is a wood veneer over a big 3D print.
What?
So I soaked the wood in really hot water in my bathtub, got it nice and like soft, and then I used a bunch of clamps, clamped it to
Camera's falling.
Camera's falling.
I was like, oh, this is a crack a lens here.
And then I clamped it in place, let it dry. It took on the shape of the 3D print. And then Keith Johnson suggested that I use a product called speed tape to adhere it to the 3D print. It worked great. It's beautiful.
Attaboy, KJ. Did it have any spring back?
The lightest little bit, but honestly, the speed tape is so strong that it just held it in place, no problem. I was thinking about epoxying it and like using contact adhesive, but this stuff worked really well. So,
isn't it nice when you have friends who actually are knowledgeable and know what they're doing with like woodworking and making and stuff like that?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Because we're just winging it out here.
I know. But it was nice. I was like, oh, well, maybe I can use this again in the future. Like it worked out pretty well. So
that's neat, though. It looks like you got some really nice grain on that veneer. Where'd you get the veneer from?
I got it from the place where I normally buy all my hardwood. They like sell 4x8 sheets of it. I actually had this left over from when I made a set of speakers with wood veneer. So
you did on the over MDF, right?
Yeah.
Last time.
Yeah.
Huh. I've heard of good success from people that go to a place called veneersupply.com. Not affiliated with it whatsoever, but I've just heard that name been thrown around fairly often.
I wonder if they ship to Canada.
I don't know. I don't know anything about them.
I mean, they could just like roll it up and put it in a tube, so I can't see why they wouldn't.
Doesn't weigh much anything, right?
No. It's kind of expensive, but
how much is like a 4x8 sheet? I feel like that's a pretty big piece of veneer, right?
Yeah, when I bought the 4x8 sheet, it was
$200.
I think it was $150, and it was. I remember at the time thinking that's basically the same price as a piece of plywood.
Yeah.
So they sell it to you rolled up, or was it like flat and you had to like somehow?
No, it was rolled up.
It?
Yeah, it was all rolled up. So, yeah. I thought it was kind of cheeky. I was like, I could also just buy a sheet of walnut plywood for the same price that I'm buying this veneer. Like, I could probably get like 5/8 or something like that. So,
yeah,
you could get the rounded edges like you got.
Well, yeah, for this application, you definitely needed to be a veneer. But when I was doing the speakers, I was like, maybe this is stupid. Maybe I shouldn't make it out of MDF. Maybe I should just make it out of plywood.
I want to get into the vacuum pressing veneer stuff.
Yeah, I did think about vacuum pressing this, but it seemed like more trouble than it was worth. That's what Scott said I should do, actually. But I just ended up going with just like the spring clamping things, and it worked fine.
Scott's never right about anything.
I know. Oh, he sent me a screenshot, and one of our lovely listeners actually signed up for his video course.
He texted me too. And I said, so it wasn't a complete waste of your time to be on our podcast. And he goes, or maybe it was because I actually lost money for someone who was going to be potentially buying the course anyway. And I said,
true.
Scott, you know my delicate psyche can't handle that. But no, everybody, so if you haven't heard already, go to Scott Walsh, check out his Evergreen Workbench course.
Mm-hmm. And use code OFFTHECUT, all caps, when you check out, and you will save 20%. And it stacks.
That's what he said.
He's got a discount going on, like an early bird discount going on right now. So you really get some good savings.
Yeah, it's super cheap when they use that code. We get zero kickback on that, by the way. We're just trying to help out one of our buddies. We should have been like, you need to give us a commission and affiliate.
You know, we should have done that split. You know, like, have you ever negotiated an affiliate link with somebody and they're like, you pick what the split is? They basically like, you can give your audience 10% off and then you get 10% commission, or you can give them 15% and you get 5%. Yeah. And it's like, they let you kind of pick it. So we should have done that negotiation with Scott.
Yeah. I'd rather just give it to the audience.
Yeah, obviously. But
so
still.
It is what it is. Well, I think we need to talk about what we had kind of mentioned. We kind of got it in the after show, the bonus episode last week. towards the end. We were already like an hour and 10 minutes into the after show last week, and we were like,
Yeah.
all right, we need to just write this down.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know what happened 2 weeks ago, week and a half?
Yeah, a week and a half ago, I think. It was like over the weekend, I want to say. I think I launched the video on a Monday and it happened on like the previous Friday, which was annoying.
So for people who don't know, I'm assuming you probably do. If you listen to the podcast, you probably watch YouTube or whatnot. But anyway, Bamboo Labs, 3D printers that all three of us have and really enjoy using, has been doing a fairly big social media marketing.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
We
I
lost
thought it
him.
was just me.
No, yeah, I looked over at you for a second and you move. I was like, uh-oh. Let's see.
Am I back?
Yep. There
we go. You're back.
There we go. Okay, I'm back. I see. When we freeze, I don't know if my audio keeps recording or like what happens.
I know,
sometimes
I
it
know.
doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
the last thing we heard from you was that Bamboo was doing a pretty big marketing push online.
Yes, they're doing a pretty big marketing push within the last 3 or 4 months, maybe longer.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
4 months.
It's probably the end of the summer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting tons of airtime. People are very familiar with them. People are showing off their tools. I was in negotiations with some stuff with them, end up not being, didn't work out for my rates and stuff. But Zach, you did quite a few things with them, and you put out a video within the last 2 weeks or so, and something happened that you were kind of in a hot water situation. So what happened?
Oh,
Yeah. So Bamboo rolled out this new firmware for their X1. Well, I think it's for all their 3D printers. And basically, the gist of it is they are blocking or making it harder for people to use third-party slicers and third-party management software with Bamboo printers. Basically, they're going to add another layer that's they're calling it like a security layer. That's a cloud service that these slicers are going to have to interface with, and then they can communicate with your printer. And what it effectively does is break third-party support for using your own custom slicers. And the community is none too pleased about it. Everybody is very angry at Bamboo about this.
So I'm just curious. What's the benefit of using a third-party slicer?
So apparently,
one of them better?
it's a good. Yeah, so that's a good question. I actually did a little bit of research into this because I've just always used the first-party one. So if you look, I think high level, if all you do is use your Bamboo printer with the Bamboo slicer, you're not really going to notice any change. Like nothing is going to change for you. It's only the people who are using custom control software that are going to experience anything. But yeah, apparently some of the other slicers have features that the Bamboo one doesn't have, like different patterns you can use for infill, different surface texture patterns, stuff like that can either make your prints better, use less filament, print more efficiently. Apparently, they are significantly better in some ways. So I am kind of bummed about that because I never actually got to explore that. But yeah, just the 3D printing community is very pro open source, pro community. So I think a lot of people feel like this is a betrayal of the ethos of the 3D printing community.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's where a lot of the friction is. But what ended up happening to me was that I signed this contract back in November of 2024. And they announced the changes on a Friday. I launched the video on a Monday. And all of a sudden, everybody's mad at me. Oh, how dare you accept a sponsorship from Bamboo Labs? Don't you know they're an evil company? It's come on, guys. It's this is crazy.
But
the way I see it, this is no different than Apple, requiring you to use their software on their devices or, any
100%,
other tech company.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's not even nearly as severe as that. Bamboo is still far more open than Apple will ever be. It's not like they're blocking the use of third-party filaments or, build plates or anything like that. And they have said that they would like to find a way to still have people be able to use third-party slicers. They're just going to have to communicate to the printer through this software layer that they claim is going to enhance security. Whether or not that's actually true, I don't know, but that's kind of the angle they're pushing right now.
Yeah.
And I get that, especially like, you know, with everything going on with the last several years where like security is inherently a big issue. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe this is me being naive. I don't think they're inherently going out there trying to piss people off. I truly think that this move is trying to make an improved user experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more streamlined, the fewer bugs, the fewer issues any product has, the better end experience it's going to be for the user.
Yeah.
And if limiting their printers to only working with their slicer is a way for them to get there,
yeah,
maybe that's a trade-off that they have to take, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Bamboo came into this market that was not known for being user-friendly. And
Right.
I think part of the way they made it user-friendly is by controlling the entire experience from end to end.
Yeah.
Use their slicer, use their printer, use their filament. If you do all three of those things, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have really great results using their printers, right? Whereas before they came along, it was you would use a slicer, you would use a different company's printer, and you would use a different company's filament, and you would kind of have to try really hard. Yeah, you'd have to tweak them all to work with each other, and that might be fun for enthusiasts and hobbyists and stuff like that. But if you just want a printer that actually works, it's not really the ideal user experience. So this is they're really just continuing in a direction that they were already kind of going.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I would put myself in the camp of someone who I have a 3D printer because I like the utility of it. Yeah. I want to design this thing.
Yeah.
I press print and I go. I don't want to look up tables of what speed should I print this filament and what temperature and what layer heights. I don't care. I just want to press print and get my thing. That's why I love the Bamboo ones. But like, do you think the majority of customers are people like me, or the majority of customers are people that want all these super duper nuanced things?
That's a great question. And I think most people are like you, and I think I also fall into that category too. Like, I like tweaking and playing with the things, but honestly, 90% of the time I just want the printer to print my 3D model the right way, right? And I think most people fall into that. So I was honestly, like, I was seeing all this backlash in the comments of my videos, and I was wondering, I was like, how many people who are like upset right now, and I'm using air quotes for those who are listening, how many people are actual users versus people who are just kind of like, they kind of see like a bandwagon
anger thing.
Yeah. It's like a 3D printer is already kind of a niche thing, right? Like, I don't know anybody else in real life. Like, none of my friends have them. Like, I'm kind of like a weirdo for.
I don't even think my friends know what they are.
Right? So it's like, to see
what, so you
hundreds
just
of
make
people.
a bunch of fidget spinners?
Right.
Yeah.
But,
so I don't know. These things happen, and like you saw like another good example. This is like BetterHelp. Like, everybody got really mad at BetterHelp, and Honey was the big one recently. And I think it kind of comes in waves, and I wonder how many people who were aggrieved about BetterHelp were actually people who suffered it all because of BetterHelp, or if they were just people who kind of like complaining in comment sections.
Wait, what happened with BetterHelp?
I don't even know, to be perfectly honest with you. I just know that at a certain point, people got mad about it. I thought BetterHelp was a great service.
Huh? Well, now I have to look up what happened to BetterHelp.
Yeah, BetterHelp controversy.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I thought it was something to do with like their service wasn't that great, or it wasn't giving people what it advertised. But
so one of them says it's misleading marketing.
Yeah.
Saying that they claim all their therapists on the platform are licensed and experienced when in fact some may not or may not meet those qualifications.
Interesting. Interesting.
That, and then there was something about like your therapist could just drop you and switch you to a different one, and you'd have no say in it or something like that.
Interesting.
Or-
But wouldn't that happen with a traditional therapist?
Yeah, except for any other one.
Interesting.
And then
Anyways,
in 2020, they allegedly shared user information with third parties without consent.
That was probably
interesting.
what it was. Oh yeah, you know what? That was what the big controversy was, because it's healthcare, so it's like your personal data and your like these conversations that you're having with a therapist under the guise of this is between just us. It's
That
not
like
going to go
HIPAA thing
anywhere.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But what was it? Actual like the contents of the conversation, or was it like high
Didn't
level anonymized data?
I think it was just a leak, and
Okay.
of course, whenever
Interesting.
there's a leak, they're not going to say exactly what leaked, but
Yeah,
people make assumptions.
very
I think
true.
it's like that with this whole bamboo thing. Like everything I've seen on it, people are like, yeah, they're making it to where you can't roll back the firmware, so then you can't work with third-party apps, which you know what that means. That means that they're going to implement it so that you have to use their filament and you have to use their services, and then it's going to be a monthly subscription and all this other stuff, and they're getting pissed off about something that hasn't happened. It's purely speculative.
Ooh, that's a really valid point.
Yeah.
There is a lot of speculative fervor that especially
That's
around the
good.
bamboo one that I noticed. People kind of just like, and I don't think it's good for anybody. They take like the worst possible interpretation of a situation and run with it.
Yep.
And I think it's I think it's detrimental to the people who do it,
They
because
need
you're
better help.
constantly like right, honestly. But just like constantly living in that negative space cannot be good for you, I don't think.
I like Joe from Delaware Valley Workshop commented, and he goes, "Welcome to mainstream America." Dude, you're absolutely right. Like, how do you have this much time to be so just angry about stuff that it probably doesn't matter to you, right?
Well, and again, that's what I was like. I was wondering, like, how many people are really affected by this change that Bamboo is making? Like, it's a subset of a very small subset already. It's like 3D printing nerds who happen to be using third-party slicers.
Right.
Yeah. So
who cares? But anyway, with all that being said, I think part of the conversation kind of leads back around to, so people became, and your comments, were people mad at you or were they mad at Bamboo?
both. There were quite a few
Mad
people.
at Bamboo through you.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I mean, that is kind of, that's on me. Like, that's part of the risk you take as a creator is like anytime you take a partnership with a business, you do assume some reputational risk that business might, end up screwing the end user. And it's something that, maybe more creators need to start thinking about.
I don't know. You're not on the board. You can't control what direction they take the company down the line.
Yeah, and I mean, and look, things change. Like this partnership was months and months in the making.
Yeah.
But I should know as a responsible business owner, like that is a risk. Like even whether or not I'm morally, I don't know, on the hook for Bamboo's decisions. That's neither here nor there. But I should know that that's a risk that my business, so far as I want to call my content creation thing, my business, like I need to be aware of that. And so does everybody else, frankly.
Right. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get into
the choice of either stand by it, that decision, or abandon the payday and take that hit. Yeah,
exactly.
Let me ask you this though, Zach. Do you have any intention of never using a Bamboo product again?
No, that's the thing. Like, I love my Bamboo printers. This change doesn't affect my workflow, so it doesn't affect me in any way. So it's like it's kind of hard for me to get mad about it. Like, I guess I do kind of, like, look, if you're running a business and you depend on one of these third-party slicers or one of these third-party
huge bummer.
Huge bummer. Like that does legitimately suck for those people. But I have to imagine that that's a very small percentage of people out there. So,
but
I
also, isn't the easier solution to just, if you're that mad about it, just
don't
get a different printer?
Go buy it. Go buy a
What's
React.
more important to
Something
you, the printer or the software?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if
Well,
you're
at this
modding
point-
it anyways,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. At this point, the two are kind of linked, right? The printer and the software. It's kind of like a package deal. No matter whose printer you end up buying. Like I have this Creality one behind me. That comes with its own software. Now, I think you could probably use third-party software to use it, but I don't actually know that for sure.
Yeah, but it's
You know-
probably 1,000 times easier to use their first party software.
Yeah, it all like clicks together. It all works.
Yeah.
And I'm not really at the point where I'm super picky about what slicer settings I'm using. I'm not like, oh, Creality slicer doesn't have the fuzzing feature that the Bamboo slicer has that I love so much.
You're like, I
Like,
don't
eh.
care.
Yeah.
yeah, I think unless Bamboo implements one of these worst case scenario things, I think this is fading out. I feel like it's already fading pretty quick. I haven't seen as much of it in
Yeah.
my feed this week. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it'll go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like when Apple changed their charging cord and people were like, we're boycotting Apple. And then
Yeah.
2 weeks later, everybody was like, oh, this new cord is nice. It's a lot smaller. Goes
Yeah.
in both
But-
directions.
Yeah.
I love how
Yeah.
you see all the people like bitching about Apple changing their power cord, and they're like, "Oh, they keep changing the power cord. It's just to get more money." And I'm like, "Well, actually, if you do the research, you'll see that the EU is the one that imposed this new standard and requiring everybody to use the same thing.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not an
the
Apple
USB-C.
decision.
Yeah.
But
If
it's
it's up to
easier.
them, you'd still be on Lightning."
They're the easy
Mhm.
target. They're the easy
Yeah.
target,
Yes.
right? So
Yes. Yeah. I mean, big business is always an easy target for internet critics.
do you have any, and I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, do you have any
Mhm.
intention of like just kind of addressing something like that in a future video? Like next time you 3D print something, be like, hey, I know what happened with Bamboo, but I still think it's a fantastic.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, honestly, part of me is like, I don't think it's worth the hassle. Like, I think,
Agreed.
like, if I come out and make a statement like that and take like a definitive stance, I don't really stand to gain much. I hate to make it like a
Yeah.
conversation like this, but like, I'm not really gonna like win over any new fans, and I stand to risk alienating some of my current
Yeah.
fans. So
It's,
there's not
it's going to
really
come off as disingenuous too.
yeah,
Like it's just
yeah,
going to sound like you're just sucking up to Bamboo,
yeah.
and then Bamboo
asked-
might come out with something the next week and just put egg on your face.
Yeah, totally right. So I think the more interesting question is I actually have one video left in my contract, and now I'm like, well, should I continue this contract or should I hang it up and protest? And I don't know. I'm conflicted because I do love the printers and it doesn't affect me in any way. So part of me is like, I don't know.
How long do you have to fulfill the contract?
End of March. So it's a while. Like I haven't even started
Yeah.
shooting that video yet, to
I
be
was gonna
honest.
say, yeah.
So
You got
That'll
time to
blow
shake it
over
out and
by
see how it
then.
lands.
yeah, I'm also I'm hopeful that Bamboo is going to come out with some sort of reversal, or they're going to change their policy in some way that will make people a little bit happier. So we'll see. I've talked to them a little bit, and they said they are they see the feedback and they are kind of making some changes. So I am hopeful on that front.
So let's in a mythical world, right? They decide that they're going to allow all these different slicers or something. Do you think that would be something that like during the video you'd be like, and I know during my last video, people got fired up about that, but I don't know if you've heard the news. They now do allow all these different slicers or whatever. Or would you
Yeah,
just
I mean,
like, I'm just going to skip that part.
I don't know. Like that's again, like do you address it head on? But then you're kind of like becoming like the communications arm of this company.
Yeah.
Like I would rather
Oh.
talk about the things that I like about this printer. Like in my video, I was like, this is the printer that got me into 3D printing. Because that's true. That is like
The
my
slicer is
experience.
so easy. This is the slicer that I actually use. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Versus like, I mean, honestly, when it comes to my own personal workflow, I don't care about these changes. So me making it a big part of the video isn't really very true to my own experience. So I
And
don't
they
know.
may
I'm
not even
kinda-
want you to.
yeah. They might not want me to. Yeah.
yeah, if I were watching your video, like not as your friend, but just like somebody who's just like, oh, cool, I like what Zach's doing. I think
Yeah.
if you like spent time during the video, like addressing, well, remember in the last video, people got mad about this. I'd be like,
Yeah.
it would not be a net positive for me. If anything, it would be a deterrent.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's kind of where
I just won't even address it.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly wonder, like, if in 2 months, when the video is due, it's like, is anybody even going to care about this anymore? Or will they have moved on to the next thing?
Oh,
That they're,
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
It's the same thing, like Deric said, the charging cords on the iPhones, or when they got rid of the headphone jack. Who the hell? As I'm wearing wired headphones now. Who wears wired headphones anymore?
It's pretty rare. I got a lot of pairs of wireless headphones. I got 5 pairs of free wireless headphones when I switched my cell phone plan.
Oh, really?
The guy
they just send you 5 of them.
Yeah, the guy
like reach in and grab a handful.
Yeah, basically.
Like going to the dentist as a kid, and they're like, reach in the treasure chest, get a little prize.
Like, let me go on Amazon right now. I'm sure you can find wireless headphones for under $20.
Probably under 10.
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of at that price. Like, there are nice ones here for 20. There's I'm sure there's some cheap garbage out there under 10.
Skull candies. You can get skull candies for 20.
Yeah.
And skull candies used to be the bee's knees, man.
Oh, I had some skull candies back in the day. You know what my life hack was in university?
What's that?
I would get a $30 pair of skull candy earbuds. Yeah. And we all know that those things lasted like 6 months if you were lucky.
Yeah.
I would go to Best Buy. I would get the 3-year extended warranty on the $30 headphones. The 3-year warranty was like, yeah, exactly. It was like $3 or $5 or something like that. And my university, there was a Best Buy right next door to it. So I would just churn headphones. I think I must have got like 10 pairs by the time I was done university. It was pretty funny.
Oh, that's pretty clever. I think that was like around the same time that Best Buy like just kind of started coming out with those extended warranties.
Yeah.
And they might still do it. I couldn't tell you the last time I darkened the doors of a Best Buy. But some other things you're like it's stupid that I'm buying a warranty on this $20 pair of headphones. But I know this product well enough to know it's not going to last, and they're going to end up losing money on this. Absolutely, I'll take it.
Yeah, totally. I think they will sell you a warranty on anything. Or they did at one point. They would sell you a warranty on anything, and it was just like a function of the cost of the device.
Some sort of like
warranty your candy bar?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It makes me wonder, could you go buy like pencils or like something,
Yeah.
Or like
I just have an electronic component. I don't know. Screen protector.
Speaking of headphones, I've been looking for a pair for the shop. The ones that actually block
sound,
just cancel it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I keep coming back to the one that everybody's talking, IsoTunes.
IsoTunes.
Is that really like the
okay? Hear me
one
out.
And only answer, or are there better answers?
I have an opinion on this.
All right.
I have the IsoTunes, like the little earbud doodads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I'm sorry.
That's what I want. Earbuds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have those ones, and they have this feature that, if you want to call it a feature, that when the sound is below a certain decibel, it will make it like pass through. So like if somebody like if your wife comes in, like you can talk to her and stuff like that. But then once the volume goes above a certain threshold, it like blocks it out and makes it like an earplug. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me. Because a lot of what I like the sound canceling for is like getting alerted like the low hums and stuff like
blocking
that.
Out your wife, right?
Yeah, exactly. That constant background drone.
Yeah, it'll be things like maybe you sand, or like you, for example, for like a table saw. You turn on your table saw. It is not instant. It has a little bit of a delay before it kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's like passing that noise to you, it sounds like a really awkward, like amplified, microphoned volume to it. Now,
interesting.
Yeah. Now, I should say I have not screwed around with them enough to figure out if I can fully turn that off. I know you can like
I was gonna say you
tap
should
on
be able
it.
to turn it off.
Yeah,
You can like
probably.
tap on them and it goes like beep beep, and like
Yeah.
you can like affect maybe like how much it amplifies, but it's enough, Derek, that I have them and I always go back to my other headphones.
Yeah.
I-
Like mine have that feature where if you're talking to somebody, it will mute the it'll do pass through or whatever. I hate it. I'm like what you're talking about. It just sounds tinny. So I just take out an earbud.
Yeah,
when I go to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't care for that feature. Like I said, I just want something. I want earbuds that can, protect my ears. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The other annoying thing is if you get some of those earbuds and you take them out of your ear and then like the tip comes off of the earbud. That is infuriating.
Yes.
So
I've never had that happen before, but that happens. I guess with those, it happens.
no, I haven't had it happen with the ISO-tune ones because they actually screw on. They're threaded,
Oh, interesting.
so they won't
interesting.
come off. But I have a pair of Elgin, which are like the headphones that I use. They have like an earbud version, and they come off all the time. But they have a wired version, which is they're like $25, and they're just like on a string, and they go in. Dude, those are my go-to ones, and they're so old. They never come out. Super comfortable.
Elgin.
Yeah.
I had a pair of ISO tunes back in the day, and the sound quality on them was kind of lacking. They worked well in regards to blocking sound, but like listening to music, you're like, oh, these are kind of crappy speakers.
Oh yeah, that's what I want them for.
Yeah. Honestly, if you
but
want,
that was 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So might have
if you
changed.
want really good sound quality, go with an over-the-ear pair of like ISO tunes.
I can't do those.
Yeah,
because you get hot. As
and
hell.
Too
I just
sweaty.
get Sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah.
so sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I
It's
do a
like
lot of
wearing
the
a cotton
time?
hat.
What's that?
Yeah. Although this won't work for you, Derek, is I have like earmuff hearing protection, and I put the
Yeah.
earbuds inside of that.
I've considered doing that.
Yeah.
Just sticking with my earbuds and just getting like a cheap pair of like 3M earmuffs or something
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I got to go with it, I'm going to at least use my headphones, and then those are $30 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could wear AirPods, but I know people get into the whole argument of, well, it's not actually protecting your ears, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, what should we call it a night and head over to the BYOC call with our patrons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should call it a night because we still got plenty of party in front of us, but we should head over to the BYOC.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will catch you next week. And don't forget to head over to patreon.com/offthecut podcast. Enter to win that $50 gift card. Get the after show, the bonus episode, all kinds of other perks. And if you become a top tier patron, you would be hanging out with us tonight for the BYOC live hangout call. But
that's right.
We'll catch you next week.
See you, everybody.
See ya. Oh.
It's all good. It's all
Stand
good.
by. Give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons: Corey Duvall at Woodcrafts and Honey, Josh at Sawdust Bills, Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker,
You can't say that anymore.
and Dadu's debit card did work.
Bingo bango, you're done.
Zach, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I followed you.